Hi everyone, welcome to Off the Cuff with me, your host, Kaylin. I named this channel Off the Cuff because my friends and family know me to be a little blunt and sometimes just off the cuff with things. So that was the inspiration for the name of this channel. I have my notes sitting next to me, so if you see me looking down, that is what I'm looking at. So there was a couple disclaimers that I wanted to put out. So I am not a medical professional, so please do not listen to me over your physician or someone that you are working with. Also, what has worked for me about what we're talking about may not work for you. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all scenario, so I am just giving you advice on what worked for me. Also, I am LGBTQ friendly, and I try to use inclusive language as much as I can. I apologize. Some of the things just aren't inclusive, and sometimes I'm quoting, and I just want you to know, if you're watching this and you're part of the LGBTQ, you are acknowledged, and I will try to do my very best to make you feel included, but you are certainly welcome here. We're going to be talking about a sensitive topic, so we'll be talking about intercourse and intimacy, anatomy. So if that makes you feel uncomfortable, please watch with caution. And so let's get started. This YouTube channel has been an idea for a very long time, and I'm really excited to do it. And I can see me being able to talk about a lot of different topics, but the inspiration and really why I wanted to start was to talk about a sexual condition called vaginismus. So what is vaginismus? So this is quoted off of the vaginismus.com, and it states, quote, "Vaginismus is an involuntary contraction, also known as a spasm, of the muscles surrounding the entrance of the vagina, making penetration impossible or painful," end quote. So for me, intercourse was impossible for a very, very long time. I couldn't even put in a tampon or anything, so I knew that something was wrong. And so on vaginismus.com, it goes through the symptoms. So if you're someone who has vaginismus, is curious, has painful intercourse, has a hard time dealing with pap smears, this is for you, so you're in the right area. So anyways, back to vaginismus.com. So the symptoms is difficulty or impossible penetration, entry pain, or uncomfortable insertion. And that can be with tampons, with Q-tips even. Some people are so severe they can't even put a Q-tip, up there. And in addition, there's burning, stinging, or tightness, especially around the vaginal opening. Unable or extreme pain or discomfort with pelvic exams. For me, it was completely impossible before I started to really tackle the issue on my own. And ultimately, over time, people end up avoiding intimacy, attempting to put in a tampon, wanting to go see a doctor to get a pap smear. So this is a condition that wreaks havoc on not only your intimate life, but also being able to get comprehensive care that you need. Now, this episode, I won't go too much into detail about my journey. That's for video number 2 that I will be posting right after this. And I know that there's going to be people all over the world, people I went to high school with, people who know me, people who don't know me are going to see this video. Of course, that makes me nervous. I'm human, but I really want this to be a positive space, and I want it to be as informational as possible, or informative, rather. So the big why. Why am I doing this? And there's a couple different reasons, so I'll start. Inequality between men and women. And what I mean by this is that by the time everyone reaches high school, we understand what erectile dysfunction is, right? But we don't ever learn about the other side, and that's female sexual dysfunction. Women can have sexual dysfunction. I had female sexual dysfunction. I have overcome female sexual dysfunction. So there's a whole other side that society doesn't touch on. We see commercials about the blue pill, Viagra, right? But we don't ever see commercials promoting vaginal or pelvic floor health, physical therapy. We just don't hear about these things. And even having a baby can put additional pressure on your pelvic floor. And what I suggest is everyone go get evaluated once you're cleared by your doctor, to go get evaluated by a pelvic physical therapist after you've given birth. But a lot of people don't know this. And it all starts from really education. In high school and beyond, we aren't taught about female sexual dysfunction, but we do know about male sexual dysfunction and what that looks like. And I'm not saying that pelvic floor dysfunction is the only form of sexual dysfunction for females out there. What I'm saying is it can be vaginal dryness, it can be going through menopause, it can be hormonal changes, it can be pregnancy. It all loops into the same thing. I'm just more so focused on the pelvic floor, but you are not excluded if there's another reason causing your discomfort with intercourse. So inequality. Another reason is confiding in others. A lot of times this is a very isolating experience, and many people don't want to talk about it because they're embarrassed or we don't know. And again, that's the educational system kind of failing us. And when people do talk to a loved one or they do confide in a friend and they tell them that things are more painful for them, it's kind of met with sometimes lack of compassion, a lack of understanding, and you can't fault anybody for that because this isn't, mainstreamed at all. And that kind of segues into my next one, the lack of information or mainstream. Again, we're not taught about it in schools. We don't see it in the mass media. We just aren't educated on it. And most of the time when it doesn't personally affect you or affect someone that you know or someone that you love, you won't know about it. And I think that's another good reason why this YouTube channel exists. To bring awareness to something that many people are just not aware of. And another reason, when I was in college, I was actually able to do a paper and I had to thoroughly study the inequalities between men and women when it comes to sexual health and the comprehensive health care that we need, but also that sexual dysfunction is more prevalent in women. I read a study. It was conducted by Lumen in 1999, and it says, quote, "Sexual dysfunction is more prevalent in women at 43% than men, 31%, end quote." So what that's saying is that there are more women that suffer from sexual dysfunction than men, but we understand men's sexual dysfunction more than females. Something's wrong with that. And I understand what it feels like to not be understood. I understand when you're kind of pushed away from medical professionals and it's considered not real or in your head or psychological. And I'm here to tell you that it is a real condition. It affects many different parts of an individual's life. It affects relationships. And I want you to know that you are not alone, that you are acknowledged. I'm here for you. And I know that there's a ton of other people going through exactly what you're going through and that they will probably be here for you as well. So the next video, we're going to get a little bit more into who I am and my journey and a little bit more about vaginismus, and I will talk about the subcategories of vaginismus because there's kind of two. I'm really excited to do this. I'm really excited to share my experiences, and I think what I've learned most throughout this entire journey is that I've learned the amount of love and desire I have to help people, especially dealing with sexual dysfunction. And I'm so excited that I'm alive when I'm alive, and we have these platforms, and social media is a big deal. And I'm just really, really excited. So I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys subscribe, and I hope you guys look forward to my videos. And I'm really excited to do this. So I will see you in my next video. Okay?